That's how old it is. Introducing Michael Caine.
This is my very best, especially when they start singing Men of Allah. This is on right now. This is my favourite film. Let's watch out. Here we go. Let's still keep going. Keep going. I'm about to have proper Christmas has arrived. Here we are. Keep going a bit more. Ready? What? Oh, does it got a year on it, Deb? There we are. Go back again.
1964.
1964. Blimey. Here we go. Zulu. 23rd a foot. I was 24th a foot. Roy was Fusiliers.
War has today received the following dispatch from Lord Chelmsford, Commander-in-Chief of Her Majesty's Forces in Natal Colony, South Africa. I regret to report a very disastrous engagement which took place on the morning of the 22nd January between the armies of the Zulu King, Ketchewea, and our own No. 3 column, consisting of 5 companies of the 1st Battalion, 24th Regiment of Foot, and 1 company of the 2nd Battalion, a total of nearly 1,500 men, officers, and other ranks. The Zulus, in overwhelming numbers, launched a high...
Stop your dreaming, can't you see their spear points gleaming? See their warrior pennants streaming to this battlefield. Sing! Stand ye steady. Come on, sing! Ever steady. For the man.
These were won by the defenders of the mission station at Rorke's Drift, Natal, January 22nd to the 23rd, 1879. Frederick Schiess, Corporal, Natal Native Contingent. William Allen, Corporal, B Company, 2nd Battalion, 24th Foot. Fred Hitch, Private, B Company, 2nd Battalion, 24th Foot. James Langley Dalton, Acting Assistant Commissary, Army Commissariat Department. (612) John Williams, Private, B Company, 2nd Battalion, 24th Foot. 716 Robert Jones. 593 William Jones, Privates, B Company, 2nd Battalion, 24th Foot. Henry Hook, Private, B Company, 2nd Battalion, 24th Foot. James Henry Reynolds, Surgeon Major, Army Hospital Corps. Gonville Bromhead, Lieutenant, B Company, 2nd Battalion of the 24th Regiment of Foot, South Wales Borderers. commanding Rorke's Drift.
Michael Caine and Liz.
Well, you know, I've just told you that I love the film Zulu and history and connected. Well, anyway, and you know I'm a Royal Welshman, a Royal Welsh Fusilier. Well, my friend Emlyn Harding Jones, son of Jack Harding Jones, last year bought me, because I was doing Right to the Wall, bought me a beret, found me a Royal Welsh cap badge, and then he got me a hackle. Now these hackles are made by swan's feathers. Now the Queen, well, now the King owns all the swans. They're a royal bird, so that's how that's come about. Well, anyway, this year, Fantastic M has brought me a flash. I saw a bloke in, a fellow Fusilier we met in Telford, and I recognised him instantly by the flash on the back of his leathers. And I mentioned the story to M, and I said, "Oh, I'd like a flash for the back of my leathers, so I can be identified straight away." Anyway, here it is. Look, this is the flash. So let me tell you the story of the flash in the Royal Welsh Fusiliers. Now, as you know, the RAF only became the RAF, the Royal Flying RAF. They only became RAF peoples because the aeroplane was invented. Well, same as the army. The army was born from the navy. They call the navy the first service. The first services of the soldiers of the Queen or the King at the time was the navy. Everything starts from the navy, and that's why the navy will say that they are the first service. Whenever we get, oh yeah, but we're the first service, they'll say. So this stems back. The last regiment to be called back, or to come back to Great Britain, was the Royal Welsh, and the sailors at the time, they plaited their hair, and the sailors had ponytails, and on their uniforms, and all the sailors had these. So you would have this would go the back of your head, the rear of the collar, and you would grease your hair, and you would plait it and grease it, and it would put here like a ponytail. Well, that continued because the Royal Welsh were the last ones to be called in, or to come back from wherever they were at that time, many moons ago, were able to keep the flash. Now you'll only see the flash on the back of the uniforms of the Royal Welsh. If you see one of these, you're going to speak to, or you're going to say hello to, a Royal Welsh Fusilier. So I thought I'd give you a bit of history. Yeah. As little as I know it. I hope that's tasty. That's perked your interest, and you'll go and look into it a bit more, or a bit better than I can.
In 1800s, soldiers wore their hair long and tied up in pigtails, which was powdered and greased into place. The grease would stain their red tunics, so to avoid this, the hair was tied into a cue bag, sometimes called a flash. From 1808, soldiers cut their hair short, therefore discontinuing the need for a flash. The officers of the Royal Welsh Fusiliers, however, decided to keep 5 ribbons on their uniforms. Being stationed in Nova Scotia, little notice was taken. Returning in 1834, they were ordered to remove the ribbons, but King William IV granted the officers the right to continue wearing them. This was extended to all ranks in 1900. During World War I, the army attempted to remove the flash, stating that it would let the Germans know which units were facing them. In response, the regiment wrote to the War Office asking, on what occasion had any of His Majesty's enemies seen the back of a Royal Welsh Fusilier? Today we continued the tradition and wear the flash with pride on all of our ceremonial and parade uniforms.
The Royal Welsh Fusiliers was a line infantry regiment of the British Army and part of the Prince of Wales Division, founded in 1689 shortly after the Glorious Revolution. In 1702, it was designated a Fusilier regiment and became the Welsh Regiment of Fusiliers. The prefix Royal was added in 1713, then confirmed in 1714, when George I named it the Prince of Wales' own Royal Regiment of Welsh Fusiliers. After the 1751 reforms that standardized the naming and numbering of regiments, it became the 23rd Foot. It retained the archaic spelling of Welsh, instead of Welsh, and Fusiliers for Fusiliers. These were engraved on swords carried by regimental officers during the Napoleonic Wars. After the 1881 Childers reforms, its official title was the Royal Welsh Fusiliers, but Welsh continued to be used informally until restored in 1920 by Army Order No. 56. It should not be confused with the Welsh Regiment, a different unit that recruited in South and West, rather than North Wales, and became part of the Royal Regiment of Wales or RRW in 1969. One of the few regiments to retain its original title. In March 2006, the Royal Welsh Fusiliers was amalgamated with the RRW and became 1st Battalion, Royal Welsh, with RRW as the 2nd Battalion. The regiment was raised by Henry Herbert at Ludlow on 16 March 1689, following the 1688 Glorious Revolution and exile of James II. Thank you for watching.